Everybody, we're back again, this time with a Diamond 5 Ana Kiriko Moira gameplay on Nepal. Let's see how many tips we can give this player in 15 minutes. Okay, interesting text chat. So, we have Pharah. Pharah's gonna stay with Mercy. I don't care about Pharah in this comp. We have Roadhog and Genji. Let's see what hero you're gonna be picking, but your resources won't be focused on Mercy slash Pharah initially. After we're done with typing in text chat. We have 8 seconds to pick the hero. We're hyper-focused right now. Ana, perfect. Okay. Positioning wise, walk the hog. Walk with your Roadhog as close as you possibly can. You have a couple of nano targets. You have the possibility of nanoing your Pharah, even if she has ultimate. If she doesn't have ultimate, you can nano your Genji. Most of the times, if he has ultimate, if he doesn't, it's a good nano target too. And obviously, you can nano Roadhog. Love those scope shots before Echo shoots you. Great job. Reload. We can walk a little bit closer over there. Like, see, this, you're playing a little bit too scared. You haven't pressed tab. You just heard Doomfist. You know that they have Echo, and you're playing on the stairs. A little bit too close. That might have been an aggressive nade thrown in, and instead of letting the enemies go to you, you'd have went to them. So how you approached this team fight was you walked in front, you shot a little bit, and you went like, ah, okay, I did my part here. You know, I did well here. No. Keep on pressuring. Press tab. See the team come. See what they have. Even if you just walk a little bit and you make the enemies shoot at you, that is still better than just, guys, they have an Ana, and Ana's playing over there in the back. Roadhog, I know how it sounds, but he's actually pretty good at protecting you. If you die, no problem. Mercy can rescue you afterwards. Genji can deflect to you. Roadhog will clean up over there. Take the stakes and see what's gonna happen. Now, I want you to position yourself a little bit more aggressively. Always play left side here. There's almost never a situation in which you would play from here. At the beginning, after you cap the point, play from the left side. Sleep so you can see the sidelines a little bit better and pressure them. And do unscope shots, scope shots, or at least make the enemies look at you. Right? I like the ability usage over there a little bit earlier. This is nice. But one quick tip that I can give you is that sometimes when you reload, look a little bit more to your left and right and see where you're gonna reposition yourself. Because over here, you did not know. The reason why you kited back was because you thought that the enemies would walk to you on the left side. Compared to if you would have started on the left side from the beginning and Doomfist would have went for you, you would have realized that you maybe did not have to nade that. And you might not even have to be punched into the wall. So start in some set positions, I would say, like in that map specifically on the left side, close to the elephant, and spam. And then if you see the enemies, you can do reposition adjustments. You're playing a little bit too scared from what the enemies have in that case. So this is like why you died over there. So use the space, and I haven't seen you press tab other than when you die. Press tab now, you hear sleep dart. When you reload, that's when you can press tab. That's a very good trick. When you reload and you don't have to heal, that's when you can press tab. 5 versus 4, press tab, perfect. See if you nano or not. I would recommend throwing the ultimate right now just to make sure they secure the point. 4 versus 4. I still recommend ulting over here. If you trust yourself that you don't need to, okay, fine. Careful about dying from Genji with some shurikens through the window over there. You're still up 1, perfect. Go a little bit on the left side in this case. Instead of like isolating yourself on the point, you want to stress the enemies over there. Nice. I love to see this. Why? Because if the enemies are looking at the point, they just shoot over there. Compared to you shoot at the point and they shoot over there onto the left side. Okay, ultimate is available. And now see, like, when you want to rotate, you're not the one that's doing the rotations. Your teammates are doing the rotations for you, if that makes sense. Pick a side and then your team will adjust. Love the combo to splash the nade on that. That was superb, by the way. That was absolutely superb. One very important tip before this team fight, though, is usually after a minute and a half to 2 minutes, if no ultimates have been used, you think as the Ana player what ultimates you can cancel from the enemies. In this case, Genji hasn't used Blade. Press tab, see 2 minutes, see ult charge and stuff. He's close to his ultimate probably. So you should definitely save the sleep dart. 9 out of 10 cases I recommend saving the sleep dart if the enemies have ultimates. If they have High Noon, if they have Pharah's Barrage, if they have Visor, even if Doomfist has ultimate, if Genji has Blade, if Sojin has ultimate. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to have the same sleep dart conditions as me, but Genji having Blade is a must. Genji dashes to you, nade the floor perfectly. You can bait the deflect with your melee. I see that you do that from time to time pretty good. And right now, this is focusing a little bit too much on the duel with Genji while your team requires a lot of supporting. You're just everywhere right now. One thing that I have to say is that when you're taking fights, they manage to let you out. That is somehow you survive. When you're taking fights, when Oh my god, wait, that's good pocket, 2 kills. I'm gonna go over that afterwards. Nicely down to Bob, that's perfect. That's what we were talking about a little bit earlier. You know, saving it for the multimates, that's probably what you're trying to save your sleep dart for. Your 5 versus to protect the Mercy when she goes for the rest. Always protect the Mercy when she goes for the rest. Scope shots. When you're plus a couple of people, by the way, like when you're 5 versus 2 or 5 versus 3, the enemies have 2 possibilities to win the team fight. They either focus you, or if they don't focus you, they focus the other squishies on the lobby, which is probably going to be the other support or the DPSs. So in that case, if the fight seems to be in your favor, value your life number 1, and then secondly, if the enemies seem to not be shooting at you, look at the one that's pretty low HP and move your crosshair to them. This is a very underrated tip. So like, if you feel like somebody's low HP and you're not, you can even look at them through the walls and put your crosshair there so you don't spend time to readjust. So instead of like putting your crosshair, staying here and looking at somebody that's low HP there, you know that that's the target they're going to be focusing, you know? And that's when you're going to be able to do some instant shots to the Genji that was low HP there, or Pharah, I can't quite remember, or to Mercy when they're going to go to rest in that case. I wanted to say that even when the fights are happening, plan your escape route when the fights are happening. So yes, you're 1v1 in Genji, and yes, that took 5 to 7 seconds, and yes, I'll be honest with you, you got a little bit lucky in that case, because your team managed to clutch that. But have an escape route. Like, don't take the fight, and I gotta take the fight. I take the fight, and a quick trick is, where do I go? You go next to a health pack, you go next to a wall, or you go close to your team, one of the 3 options. After 5 seconds, you realize that, and you kite it perfectly. Doing a little bit earlier might have had different results. This case with ability usage at the beginning, again, we're letting the enemies be able to do stuff to you rather than you do to them. Information is key in the first team fight. My opinion, in rank, the first team fight of every round is probably the most important one. Not the last one, the first one. Why? Because it just sets team morale so much better, and also you can just snowball with ultimates very hard. Especially as a support, because usually you're going to get your ultimate faster before the enemies. So in this case, it's about cooldown management, pressing tab and seeing what they have, listening to what they have, and then playing accordingly. They have Doomfist, clearly they're going to go in, so I should save the Suzu for myself, or make sure that I'm not going to get punched. You know what I mean? Love the positioning over here, love the Kiridum, not that many tips to give in this case. UTPN with no Suzu used, no problem, it's a little bit of a scuff fight. This was good from your part. You're playing in a safe spot, you're doing some damage, UTP at a perfect moment, easy clap. Fight is over, press tab. I want to see. Nice. A little bit more. You're 20% to your ultimate. A little bit more. What's the plan? Does May have ultimate faster than I do? May's going to use ultimate first. Will I use ultimate first? You're hacked. One tip playing Kiriko against Sombra so your Suzu doesn't get forced. Specifically against Sombra. Sombras will always do this to you. Sombras, if you go on the side, Sombras will flank you and will go for the duel. You won't die, but you will get your Suzu forced. So if you're playing Kiriko against the Sombra and you don't know where she is, I highly recommend, instead of like going to the side from your team like you usually play with Kiriko, to stay close to your team, so that in case Sombra goes for you, you don't have to Suzu yourself. You can still apply pressure and stuff, but so you're not playing to Sombra's win condition, which is try to flank and find somebody off guard, because then you TP there and then have your Suzu available. I couldn't quite go through this team fight because I wanted a huge explanation. I think it probably has to do something with ultimate charge over here. I'm sorry I couldn't quite keep up with this team fight. It's I'll do better in the previous ones, exactly what happened. And I'm a little bit distracted by Cassidy with the Doomfist bug, with how he's moving over there. Anyway, I would press tab right now and think what roles do we have and how I can play accordingly. Now look at the walls. Not use abilities. I mean, shift here is okay. Good. Wait a little bit if we're low. I know how this might sound, but playing against the Doomfist, think to which wall he can punch you. This has been enlightening for me whenever I was playing against the Doomfist, especially like in the first couple of seasons when he was played as a DPS, bro. Like, you would get fisted so much, so just keep your distance and think, if he punches you, will he hit a wall? Yes, then play a little bit more in the open so you don't have to Suzu and don't have to shift yourself, because you can still spam and heal your team in that case. This fight was lost by the perfect engage. Nothing you can do in this case other than maybe land a couple of headshots. I want to see what you're going to do right now. Press tab. I want to see more tab. Think. I don't know if you can just analyze. This is perfect. You have High Noon, you have Fox, you have May ultimate. You have a couple of options right now. You can either poke and try to get your ultimate. I would recommend in this case, go left side a little bit, poke, TP to your team, and then Fox, or you can stay together with your team. Don't get punched in the wall. You're gonna do this in the next couple of times you're gonna see, because see, your abilities were forced based on your positioning. One ultimate being thrown in. You gotta go and touch the point. Love the forks. Love the hesitation. The lack of hesitation in this case. And then this is over. This is a clear example of a round in which you did not lose as a player. You did not lose with your game knowledge and stuff. I mean, it is game knowledge, but you did not lose because of abilities, because of team comp, because of whatever. This is losing because of the enemy's strengths. Sombra wants to force you suzu. Doomfist wants to punch you in walls. How do we do that? Wants to force the suzu, I stay close to team. How do we do this against Doomfist? If he punches me to a wall, I'm gonna stay a little bit to the right. You know what I mean? Like, it is a little bit counterintuitive because you're not, as a support, you're probably thinking that you should always hug walls and stuff. But sometimes, against what they're playing, you gotta adjust your positioning. If he punches you to the wall, then stay in the open, in the archway. If he charges a punch like this, you can stay like this to dodge it, instead of using cooldowns. One very important trick that I can give you though, this is essential to climb to Grandmaster, okay? Use resources, the lowest amount of resources possible before the fight starts. If you use both cooldowns and you have to reload before a kill is happening, before the fight starts, you will probably lose the team fight. So save your shift, save your suzu and stuff, and try even to save your resources. In this case, this is perfect. Look how many cooldowns they're using, and you still have your resources available. Your fade is still available. You dodged Doomfist in that case. What would have happened if he would have like shifted towards you? Mercy gets caught a little bit there. It's 4 versus 4. You cannot get to the Pharah. Gonna try to get away, destroy the lamp. Perfect. 4 versus 4. Still we can get to the Pharah over now. Perfect resource management. I gotta give it to you. This is really good. This is really good with resource management. Nice! See? Instead of over there, you're playing towards him. I feel like you're baiting him. Instead of how you're doing with Kiriko was the following. You're waiting for Doomfist to do something and then you react. Right? But like, he does it. Right now, before he does that, you're ready to react. Does that make sense? Because you faded before he hit you. With Kiriko, you did that after he hit you. So you're actually baiting him in that case. Absolutely perfect. Now, I don't know about the positioning though. Even if your teammates are playing on low ground, you don't necessarily have to stay close to them in this case. Also, you can play a little bit more in the open. Press tab and see what the enemies have in this case and think how much damage they can do. Doomfist is playing onto the left side, playing around the rock. Love it. Fist over there, try to fade in to protect. Pretty okay resources used. Maybe use coalescence in this case. When you're 4 versus 5, I would recommend opening your ultimate as fast as possible, even if the fight is not over. It's okay, cancel your ultimate. Ultimate's thrown here and there, some supporting happening. You got the window out. Don't feel bad with that ultimate. You have to do what I would call do a lot of mistakes fast to learn if that ultimate is worth investing or not. In that case, what you could come up with was, if I would have ulted, I have to wait for Doomfist punch and then I can do stuff. You know, but you still got value. For one coalescence, they use, I think, Visor and Window. Window for sure, I can't quite remember the first one that was thrown in. Love the Ana swap. Let's see what he's gonna do. Probably just gonna go and sleep dart him when he charges his fists. Very nice. After sleep darting him, we talk about ult tracking. Try to save the nade, obviously, for after he goes in. It's 2 versus 5. The most that you can get out of this is just a mult charge and maybe sleep dart somebody that's gonna overextend. So I don't want you to yeet the sleep dart. I want you to be a little bit patient with it. This is sufficiently patient. Good nade over there. A little bit unlucky with the Genji. A cool trick against Genji is to nade the ceiling or sometimes the floor. I recommend in this case though the ceiling so that he cannot deflect the nade back to you. You would have not secured a kill, but it's a cool little trick that maybe you can use because the deflect hitbox is not sufficient. Just walks in over there. You're in a very bad spot. Saving the sleep dart for the blade. That's good improvement. It's okay. Zarya went a little bit too fast. Stuff like that happens in game. In this case, when you don't have speed boost, you can do your pathing a little bit different. Pathing as in, I can't say the TH, you know, pathing. When you walk, you can walk a little bit closer, play around the rock, and then get into a small room. Seems like whenever you're positioning yourself, you're playing either pick a corner and you're staying there. You know what I mean? This is okay. 4 versus 4. Abilities are going to be available very soon. Try to pick the ones that they're going to go for. Can't quite do that much in this case. And they go in and it's just over for this fight. So what I would recommend is you would have... Third round, I don't know if you would have won team comp-wise. Their team was like... I feel like they played better than you. Than your team, I mean. But what you could have done definitely was first and second round. First round, walk a little bit more aggressive and see what the enemy team comp is and adjust accordingly. Apply pressure to the enemies rather than wait for them to do stuff to you and then you plan for that. And secondly, on the second round, If you're playing against the Sombra, don't flank that much in this case with Kiriko if that's what she wants to do. And also make sure to save as many resources as possible before the team fight starts.